Hi.
Hi there, welcome back to English for Specific Purposes. We are your hosts. I'm Mr. Daryl.
And I'm Miss Tatia. მოგესალმებით. კეთილი იყოს თქვენი დაბრუნება ჩვენს ტელესკოლაში. მე თათია ვარ, ეს კი დერილია. ჩვენი გაკვეთილის თემა კი what's the topic of today's lesson, Mr. Daryl?
We are going to talk about psychology again.
Okay. But from new perspective.
Yes.
Okay. Before we move to the lesson, I think that we have to look at our agenda. So what's on our agenda, Mr. Daryl?
We will go in with an introduction. That means a discussion between the two of us. We'll look at vocabulary that will be related to the reading text, as we know. From there, we will read the text. We will also look at some grammar, a very important part of the whole thing. And from there, summarize everything and give up some homework.
Okay, nice. It sounds interesting. ვიდრე უშუალოდ გაკვეთილზე გადავიდოდეთ, მოდით ჩვენი გაკვეთილის გეგმას გადავხედოთ. გაკვეთილს დავიწყებთ მცირე შესწავლით, შემდეგ შევისწავლით ახალ სიტყვებს, წავიკითხავთ ტექსტს, შემდეგ ვისაუბრებთ გრამატიკაზე, შევაჯამებთ გაკვეთილს და დავასრულებთ საშინაო დავალებით. We can start, Mr. Daryl, and I think that the first thing we have to talk about is feelings, okay? Very often we express our feelings in the modern world using emojis, right? So here is a photo showing different types of feelings. So what types of feelings are expressed by the emojis here?
Well, it looks like one of them, the first one is happy, the second one's a bit sad, and it goes on like that. The one's shocked.
So you may be worried or frustrated
one
or
looks
disappointed and sleepy and angry and furious. So feelings are endless. There is endless list of feelings, right?
Oh, yeah, as many people as there are in the world, there's that many ways to react.
Right. And what do you think, Mr. Daryl? Is it easier to show feelings in text messages nowadays, like using emojis, for example?
Yeah, I would definitely use emojis to reveal feelings, because when you're typing to someone, it's hard to convey the things that you can see when you look at someone. You can see things on the face, you can see the way their eyes are, the way their mouth is, but you can't do that in the text. So it is better.
So emojis help.
Yeah.
And one more thing, I think that sometimes people are shy to express their feelings face to face, and they find it easier to express their feelings using emojis in writing.
So it's like it helps people to connect?
Yes, I think so. Okay, now let's start, and we will learn some words connected with feelings, and let's look at the first set of vocabulary. And the first word we have on the list is exasperated. Exasperated is an adjective, and in Georgian it is გაღიზიანებული, გაბრაზებული. And how would you define that word in English, Mr. Daryl?
Well, it's when you're annoyed by something, but especially because you can't fix some situation.
Okay, so exasperated, an adjective, and in Georgian it is translated as გაღიზიანებული, გაბრაზებული. And we have a perfect example here. He is becoming increasingly exasperated with the situation.
The situation is making him feel worse and worse.
Okay. Mr. Daryl, and what is the next word we have?
Humiliated. Humiliated is an adjective, and what's the Georgian definition?
Humiliated is an adjective, and in Georgian it means შეურაცხყოფილი, დამცირებული. Okay, a very bad feeling, yes? So how would you define that word?
It's when someone has been made to feel stupid or ashamed, and they feel bad.
And so I think that we have to try not to make others feel humiliated, right? And here is an example. I have never felt so humiliated in my life. So it was the occasion when the person felt really ashamed.
At their worst, maybe.
Yeah. Okay. And the next word?
Disillusioned. Disillusioned is an adjective. What's the Georgian definition?
Yes, as Mr. Daryl said, disillusioned is an adjective, and in Georgian it is translated გულგატეხილი. Disillusioned. How would you define that?
This is when you feel disappointed or unhappy because you discover the truth about something that you did not expect.
Yes, so disillusioned, გულგატეხილი, and here's an example. He has become disillusioned man. And the next word is infuriated. Infuriated is an adjective, and in Georgian it is translated as გამძვინვარებული, გააფთრებული. So it means that you are very, very angry, okay?
It's precisely a synonym for anger, being angry, when you're very, very angry, yeah.
So infuriated, an adjective, and the meaning in Georgian is გამძვინვარებული, გააფთრებული, and we have an example. The man was infuriated by the unsupported accusations.
It's terrible when people accuse you of something that you didn't really do.
Yeah, and you definitely will feel infuriated. And the next word we have is?
Thrilled. Thrilled, it's an adjective. And what is the Georgian definition?
So in Georgian, thrilled means აღელვებული, and English definition?
Extremely happy about something.
So it means it has positive meaning,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
So when something positive happens and when you feel very happy, you can say that I'm thrilled, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And here is an example. I'm thrilled about my achievements.
Yeah, that's a perfect situation when you've got a good mark on a really difficult exam.
Or when you get promoted.
Or when you get promoted, yeah.
Okay, well, and the next one is frustrated. Frustrated is an adjective, and in Georgian it is translated as იმედგაცრუებული. Is it the same as disappointed, Mr. Daryl?
Yeah, it's very close. Yeah, it is very close. It's when you feel annoyed or less confident because you couldn't achieve something that you wanted.
Okay, so frustrated, an adjective, and Georgian meaning is იმედგაცრუებული. And I have an example here. Are you feeling frustrated in your present job? So it means that you expected something more, and then when you started the job, you felt that everything was not so good as you expected, and you felt frustrated.
An unhappy situation.
Okay, maybe you are just not happy with the salary or working conditions. Okay, well, and we have finished just
our look at the feelings.
Yes, we have finished with the words, and now it's time to check how well we remember the words. And we have definitions on the screen, and we have to choose the right words for the definitions. And I want to be the first to try. Okay, so I will listen to you. Give me the definition, please.
Well, Ms. Tatya, what is the definition? What is the word for the following definition? Disappointed and unhappy because of discovering the truth about something or someone that you liked or respected.
Okay, I remember your definition. You said that this situation is called to be disillusioned. Disillusioned is when you are disappointed and unhappy because of discovering the truth about something or someone that you liked or respected. And now you have to try. I will read a definition for you. Feeling annoyed or less confident because you cannot achieve what you want. What do you think is the word?
Frustrated.
You are right. Frustrated is the same as disappointed. So when you feel annoyed or less confident because you cannot achieve what you want, you feel frustrated. And now it's my turn.
This is when you're annoyed, again, but especially because you can do nothing to solve the problem.
So in this case, you are exasperated, as I remember.
Very good.
Okay, well, and the next one, what is the word which means feeling ashamed and stupid?
Humiliation, when you feel humiliated.
Yes, you are right. It's humiliated. Humiliated is when you feel ashamed and stupid. Okay, and we have two words and one definition.
What is it when you are extremely happy about something?
I remember we talked about achievements, and you feel thrilled when you have achieved something great. So I think that the word here should be thrilled. Extremely happy about something is thrilled.
And the last one?
A very easy task for you.
Extremely angry, but infuriated.
You're right. And we have finished the first set of vocabulary, and it's time to move to the reading section. But before we read the text, as usually, we have to study some words to make it easier for us to understand the text better. And what do we have on the list?
Well, first up, we have to get over, to get over.
To get over is a phrasal verb, and in Georgian it means გამოჯანმრთელება. So to get over, what is the definition of this phrasal verb, Mr. Darrow?
Well, it's when you get back to a state of good health and normalcy after suffering through maybe some kind of illness or something.
Kind of a recover.
Yeah.
Okay. So to get over, and the Georgian meaning is გამოჯანმრთელება, and we have an example here, is just getting over the flu. Okay. A very clear example how it can be used. And our next word is
Gloom. Gloom.
gloom. Gloom is a noun, and in Georgian it means sevda naghweli. How would you define that word, Mr. Darrow?
Gloom. This is, well, this when you are sad. You can even use it for the weather. We often say, that's gloomy weather out there.
Yeah. So it's kind of sad.
Yes, but without any feeling, without any spark of life.
Okay, right. So gloom is a noun, and in Georgian it is sevda naghweli. And here we have an example. Gloom and anger replaced her earlier upbeat moods. Okay. And what is the next word, Mr. Darrow?
To trivialize. To trivialize.
To trivialize is a verb, and in Georgian it is translated as გაუბრალოება, გამარტივება. Okay? Can you give more light to this word?
Good word. This is when you make something seem less important than it really is.
Yeah, you're right. To trivialize. გაუბრალოება, გამარტივება, and here is an example. I don't want to trivialize the problem. So I don't want you to look at the problem as if it is nothing, as if it is simple.
Because it is a real problem.
If it's a real problem. Okay, and what is the next word, Mr. Darrow?
Ooh, kind of a dark word. Suicidal. Suicidal.
Suicidal is an adjective, and in Georgian it is translated as თვითმკვლელობისკენ მიმართული. As we know, suicide is a noun, and in Georgian it means თვითმკვლელობა, and this is an adjective, suicidal, and in Georgian it means თვითმკვლელობისკენ მიმართული. So how would you define that word, Mr.
It's kind of like a tendency to want to kill yourself.
Yes, okay, and here we have an example. He had suicidal thoughts, so it means that he was thinking about suicide all the time, right?
He may need to talk to friends or family.
Or just go to the psychologist to help. So, what is the next word, Mr. Darrow?
Irritable. Irritable.
Irritable is an adjective, and in Georgian it is translated as გაღიზიანებული. How would you define that word?
This is when you're annoyed very easily.
Yes, you're right. So, irritable, გაღიზიანებული. And here is an example. Be careful what you say. He's rather irritable today. So it means that he gets irritated very easily, right?
Stay away from such people, I guess.
Such people, yeah. And the next word is down. Down is an adjective, and in Georgian it means უბედური, მოწყენილი. Sometimes people feel down, yeah? So it means that they are sad.
But it's a very common adjective in English when you speak about someone's feelings, if they are feeling unhappy and unable to feel excited about anything.
Yes, so to feel down means, in Georgian means თავი იგრძნო უბედურად, იყო მოწყენილი, okay? And here is an example. I've been feeling a little bit down this week. And I think that we have studied all the words we need to read the text, and it's time to read the text. And the text is very interesting, by the way, because it was something new for me, and I think that the audience will find it also quite interesting.
Did you feel thrilled when you found it out?
Yeah, by the way. Not quite thrilled, but I was quite interested in it. Okay, so I want to ask you, how do you generally feel at the end of January after the New Year's celebrations are over?
Well, in Georgia, you have like 15 days of celebrations from January 1st to Old New Year on January 14th. So you have a long time of celebration. So after that, maybe you might feel a little down. A little down. Yeah, you're right. I have the same feeling when the celebrations are over. And by the way, have you ever heard about Blue Monday? No, I haven't.
You haven't. So
No.
you are going to find out about Blue Monday. But if Monday is blue, it means that blue is usually connected with sadness.
Sadness, yeah.
Okay. So if Monday is blue, it means that this is the Monday which is sad.
I'm going to be thrilled to find out what it's all about.
Okay. So we will read the text and find out what Blue Monday is. Let's start. Blue Monday is supposed to be the saddest day of the year, and it takes place on the third Monday in January. Why is it so sad? Well, there are several reasons for that. Firstly, for most of the world, the holiday season is over. The New Year decorations are down, and for many of those living in the north, they are replaced with cold, damp, grey weather. To add to the gloom, following the increase in the spending for the end of year celebrations, levels of debt are most likely to be up at this time. This means you may be having to reduce expenses that is likely to be a little more wobbly than usual.
Well, Tatia, there you go. That was Blue Monday then. I didn't realize it happens in January, as you said, and it's the Monday you feel the most depressed.
Yes, you're right. Let's go on.
However, the term Blue Monday, which was established by psychologist Cliff Arnell in 2004, has been met with a certain amount of skepticism from mental health care professionals. Clinical depression is a serious illness that will likely affect around 1 person out of every 6. Many feel that designating a day in January where everyone feels depressed trivializes an issue that severely impacts a significant number of people in all aspects of their lives all year. People who suffer from depression may have suicidal thoughts, sleep deprivation, and a feeling of being disconnected from others. There are also a significant number of people who suffer from seasonal affective disorder, or SAD. This largely affects people during the months when lack of sunlight is more likely, leaving them depressed, irritable, and feeling worthless.
Okay, so we've got more information about Blue Monday and the person who established it, and the fact that a lot of healthcare professionals object to this term, right?
Because people are sad throughout the year, not just that Blue Monday.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's move on. Again, symptoms of this adversely affect millions around the world each year for many months. So the implication that we can just feel down for one day and get over it is upsetting to many. Arnold himself has since publicly apologized for introducing the term and done much work to ensure positive work is done year-round. Nonetheless, the idea has stuck. On a positive note, it's a good chance to acknowledge and discuss mental health more openly. It's often an issue due to its very nature that people struggle with it in private.
Well, so this is an instance where a professional has to kind of backtrack on something he said. They made him change his opinion.
Yes, really. He apologized for establishing this Blue Monday because a lot of people are struggling with depression all year round, and it can be it cannot finish in one day. Okay, you cannot get over it so soon and so easily, right?
So we should call it a blue year.
Yes, okay, we can. Okay, now I think that it's time to check how well we understood the text. For this we have statements and we have to decide whether the statements are true or false.
I'll ask you the first one.
Okay, I'm ready.
One of the reasons for Blue Monday is that by the third Monday in January, people have less income.
I can't agree with you because I remember well when I read the text that people feel down because they have to tighten their belts to spend less than they used to. So the statement is false because we read, this means you may be having to reduce expenses that is likely to be a little more wobbly than usual. So it isn't about less income,
Yeah.
it's about reducing the expenses, okay? And the next one, I will read the statement and you will try, okay? Some mental health care professionals have objected to Blue Monday, saying that it reduces the importance of clinical depression, which is a very serious issue for many people. A very serious issue for many people. So what do you think?
We talked about this and I think it is true. People have criticized him for making this idea creating this idea, which turns out not to be the most helpful idea.
Yes, you're right. And here is the proof, the evidence. The term Blue Monday, which was established by psychologist Cliff Arnold in 2004, has been met with a certain amount of skepticism from mental health care professionals. Okay, and now I will try.
Seasonal affective disorder often affects people during the summer months and can cause depression. Is it true or false?
I think that it's false.
Very good, because it's the summer.
Okay, we know that so it was said that in the text that people usually feel down when it's winter, there is no sunlight, there are gloomy, cold days, and people feel more depressed during that period of time. So we read in the text, there are also a significant number of people who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. This largely affects people during the month when lack of sunlight is more likely, leaving them depressed, irritable, and feeling worthless. So it's not in summer when there is much sunlight. Okay, and the last statement.
Cliff Arnold, the creator of the Blue Monday concept, has distanced himself from that idea and apologized.
It's true for sure, because I remember, and it was a surprise for me to read that he apologized for establishing the term, right? So the statement is true because we read, Arnold himself has since publicly apologized for introducing the term and done much work to ensure positive work is done all year round.
That's a good professional.
And I think that we have finished with the reading part, and it's time for grammar. And I'm really interested to know, what is the grammar topic today?
Coordinators and subordinators.
Yeah, these are things which we need to combine parts of the sentences, right? Okay, well, let's look. So conjunctions are used to express a connection between words. The most familiar conjunctions are and, but, and or. For example, cold and wet, tired but happy, tea or coffee. They can also connect longer units, like parts of the sentences. For example, Paul plays football and David plays chess. Or I play tennis, but I don't play well.
Do you play tennis?
No, I don't.
No. Now, there are two types of conjunctions. There are coordinating conjunctions, or simply coordinators, which connect elements of equal syntactic status. For example, Paul and David, or I play tennis, but I don't play well.
On the other hand, subordinating conjunctions, or subordinators as they are called, connect elements of unequal syntactic status. For example, I left early because I had an interview the next day. Or we visited Madame Tussauds while we were in London. Other subordinating conjunctions include although, because, before, since, till, unless, whereas, and whether.
Very useful words.
Really. Now I think that we have finished with the theoretical part and we have to practice. We will read the sentences with the conjunctions, and we have to decide whether they are subordinators or coordinators. Okay. The first sentence is on the screen.
Last year we visited Venice and Pisa.
So, as Venice and Pisa are the elements of equal syntactic status, I think that it should be a coordinator. And
you are
I'm right. Now it's your turn to try. Have there been any developments since we last met?
So these do not seem to be equal syntactic elements. The first part is obviously longer than the second part. It has to be a subordinator.
You're right. You're absolutely right. Okay, now let's move on. The next example, Meg will drink red or white wine. So I think here or is a coordinator. okay, because it joins equal words of equal syntactic function. Okay.
Very good, and you were right. Now, the next one, I find it very difficult to forgive, although I do eventually. Now, these two parts are not of equal status, so I'm going to say...
And we know that although is a subordinator.
By listening, so it is a subordinator.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. And I think that we have finished with the lesson, and it's time to wrap it up.
Well, so this is our goodbye to psychology. We had a look at vocabulary, as you remember at the very beginning, about feelings, emotions. We brought up a lot of adjectives. Then we had a reading about Blue Monday and Mr. Arnell, the psychologist. And we looked at grammar, looking at conjunctions.
ეხლა კი დროა ჩვენი გაკვეთილი შევაჯამოთ. გაკვეთილი დავიწყეთ ახალი სიტყვებით, შევისწავლეთ გზნობებთან დაკავშირებული ზეცართავი სახელები. შემდეგ წავიკითხეთ ტექსტი ლურჯ ორ შაბათთან დაკავშირებით, რომელიც ვფიქრობ რომ ძალიან საინტერესო იყო. შემდეგ კი განვიხილეთ გრამატიკა, კავშირები. And now it's time to move to the final part of our lesson, which is homework. Mr. Terrell, what are we going to have as a homework today?
Well, since it is about our reading task, I thought we'd ask this following question. Write a paragraph about how you feel after New Year celebrations are over.
Okay, and I think that we will just find out many interesting things about people and their feelings, right? Okay, very nice. And Mr. Terry, where can the homework be uploaded?
Well, the homework can be uploaded to the address you see on the screen right now.
Okay, very interesting. And now the only thing we can do is to say goodbye to the viewers and look forward to meeting them again.
With a new topic.
Yeah, with a new topic. So stay with us and keep on learning.
Until next time, goodbye.
Bye.